Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS FANS. Let's get to the news. Now folks, if you've been following the Atlanta Falcons lately, you know that the team has been working tirelessly in the offseason to improve and position themselves for a serious push in 2024. After narrowly missing out on the playoffs last season with an 8-9 record, there's a sense of urgency and determination in Atlanta. The front office, led by General Manager Terry Fontenot, has been diligent, making moves and trying to fill every gap to make this team a legitimate contender. But as we all know in the NFL, football is unpredictable, and sometimes, just when you think you're set, things change in the blink of an eye. That's exactly what's happening now. The Falcons are facing a significant challenge on their offensive line, particularly at the vital right tackle position. Caleb McGarry, who had been expected to be a cornerstone on that line, suffered a leg injury that is now projected to keep him sidelined for at least 6 to 8 weeks. And if that wasn't enough, his backup, Storm Norton, also went down with an ankle injury. Same recovery timeline, 6 to 8 weeks. These setbacks are a real headache for the Falcons because, let's be honest, protecting their young quarterback, Michael Penix Jr., is a top priority. With Penix set to start his first full season as a pro in just a couple of weeks, the Falcons need to act fast. Now, imagine the scenario. You've got a rookie quarterback, a guy who's fresh out of college, eager, talented, but still developing, and he needs solid protection. Atlanta's offensive line has been a work in progress, and losing 2 key players at right tackle puts them in a tough spot. The team's strategy to keep Penix upright and safe is now under threat. The Falcons have to find a solution fast. They're in a race against time, especially as roster cuts are looming. Every NFL team must reduce from 90 players down to 53 by Wednesday, which means opportunities will open up quickly. Some players will be waived, some will be traded, and Atlanta needs to be ready to pounce on the right talent. This brings us to the intriguing trade idea that's been circulating, one that could really shake things up. Recently, ESPN's Bill Barnwell proposed a bold move. The Falcons should trade cornerback Clark Phillips to the Kansas City Chiefs in exchange for offensive tackle Wanya Morris, plus a 6th-round pick in the 2027 NFL Draft. Now, at first glance, trading a cornerback for an offensive tackle might seem unconventional, especially considering the Falcons' pressing need on the offensive line. But let's break down why this could make sense. Clark Phillips, a young and promising 23-year-old cornerback drafted in the 3rd round last year, has shown flashes of potential, but has only started 7 games across his first 2 seasons. His role has been somewhat limited, and with the Falcons looking for immediate help on the offensive line, they might see this as an opportunity to address a glaring weakness with a player who still has room to grow. Wanya Morris, the player coming from Kansas City, is just 24 and has a lot of untapped potential. He's a big guy, standing 6'6" and weighing 307 pounds, and he's got some experience starting games for the Chiefs, including 4 as a rookie and 11 last season. What makes Morris interesting is not just his size, but also his versatility. The Chiefs even used him creatively last season, involving him in the passing game with a 1-yard touchdown catch on a goal line situation. That's a sign of a player with good hands and athleticism, someone who could develop into a reliable starter or a swing tackle, valuable assets for the Falcons as they look to solidify their offensive line. The idea here is that Morris, still young and with room for growth, could be a short-term solution at right tackle and eventually transition into a swing role, helping protect Penix and giving Atlanta some flexibility along the line. So why consider trading Phillips, a promising young corner, for Morris? Well, the Falcons are in a bit of a tricky spot on defense, but their priority right now is fixing that offensive line, especially with the season so close. Trading a player who has yet to fully prove himself as a regular starter might be a calculated risk worth taking if it means landing someone like Morris, who could be a quick fix and a long-term asset. Plus, the Falcons are always looking to maximize value, and if they can get a player with Morris's profile plus a future draft pick, it might be a smart move to keep their roster competitive for 2024 and beyond. Now, let's talk a little about the current state of the Falcons and how this move could influence their season. Atlanta has been building steadily over the past few years, and last season's near miss in the playoffs was a clear sign that they're on the right track. The offense with Penix Jr. at the helm showed flashes of brilliance, and their defense has been improving, especially with young players gaining experience. But the offensive line has always been a sore spot, and now with these injuries, it's critical for them to act quickly. The team's coaching staff, under Arthur Smith, has emphasized the importance of a balanced attack and protecting their quarterback. Penix Jr., who transferred from Indiana and has shown flashes of talent and leadership, needs a reliable line to truly flourish. The offensive line's performance last season was a mixed bag, sometimes solid, sometimes vulnerable, and the injury to McGarry, who was expected to be a key piece, complicates things. That's why the potential addition of Morris could be a game-changer, giving the Falcons more depth and stability along the line. Looking ahead, there are a number of options for Atlanta in the upcoming days. As teams trim their rosters from 90 to 53 players, the Falcons will be watching the waiver wire closely, ready to swoop on any talented player who becomes available. They could also pursue trades, like the one proposed, to fill their needs more immediately. The NFL's landscape is always shifting in these final days before the season, and Atlanta has to be ready to act swiftly. What's also interesting about this scenario is how it highlights the strategic mindset of GM Terry Fontenot. He's not just looking for quick fixes, he's thinking long-term, trying to build a roster that can compete at the highest level. That includes making tough decisions, like trading away a promising young corner for an offensive lineman who can help them in the short term, but also has the potential to develop into a key player for years to come. It's a balancing act, one that requires both patience and aggression, and Fontenot has proven he's capable of making bold moves when necessary. And of course, fans are eagerly awaiting how this situation will unfold. Will the Falcons pull off this trade? Will they find another solution on the waiver wire? The next few days will be crucial. The NFL season is approaching fast, and every move counts. The Falcons have a talented core, a young quarterback ready to take the next step, and now they need to ensure their offensive line can hold up under pressure. That's the key to their success in 2024, keeping Penix safe, giving him time to operate, and establishing a ground game that keeps defenses honest. As we keep a close eye on all these developments, it's clear that Atlanta is not backing down. They're looking to solidify their roster, make smart moves, and push for a playoff run. The potential trade involving Clark Phillips and Wanya Morris could be exactly what they need to turn the tide in their favor. It's a bold move, but sometimes in the NFL, boldness is what separates contenders from pretenders. And if this trade happens, it might just be the spark that ignites the Falcons' season. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And I want to hear from you, Falcons fans. What do you think about this potential move? Do you believe Wanya Morris can step in and be the solution at right tackle? Or do you think the team should hold on to Phillips and look elsewhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion matters so much to us and to the Atlanta Falcons. We're all in this together, hoping for another successful season. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. We're heading into a pivotal season, and every detail counts. Let's see how this story unfolds in the coming days. Thanks for being here, and as always, go Falcons!